Hi everyone, this is Vian from Mountain Road Ride here, and as you can see behind me, what a beautiful early spring day we are having here in Northern Virginia. So I figured today is the perfect day to take my gravel bike out, and we are going to go test out the WTB 40mm Nano gravel tires. I've had these tires on my bike for the last 4 months or so. I've been able to put a good 1,000 miles on them, so I've had an extensive review period with these tires. Today we're going to go test them out in practice, so you can read beyond just the technical specifications, but you can see what they look like in practice. If you do want to go into those technical specifications, I've put together a blog post that I will put in the links below. Be sure to take a look at that, read along, and you can see a few more extra details on these tires. The backstory to them: once I got my original gravel bike, they were fitted as a stock option with the WTB Riddler tires. Those are 37mm tires. I decided to swap them out for the WTB 40mm Nano tires, and I also then converted them to a tubeless system. So the tires on this bike that you will see today, those are tubeless tires and ready to ride. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually go out on a regular route that I have in the area. This includes both the paved section that leads me down to a state park. Within the state park, we're going to swing through various different trails. They will find some narrow trails, some wider trails, some more technical stuff, and we're also going to go on a few sections that technically could be deemed mountain biking terrain to really put these wheels through their paces. Just to let you know, the setup that I'm running today, I am opting to go with a 35 PSI tire pressure. So on the road they'll be a little squishy. I prefer to run about a 40 PSI when I'm going on harder, more dry pack surfaces. Today I am deliberately running it a little slower because I know ultimately we're going to be going over the more technical stuff, and there I need a softer wheel. So that is then my tire pressure for today. Obviously just a mere guideline. You'll differ in terms of your bike setup and also your body weight on what the correct tire pressure will be. But enough of that, let's go check it out and see how these tires do over all those various surfaces. Alright, so here we are on the tarmac now, and I'm going to swing over to the front view, and you can see how this wheel now does on the tarmac, especially on this downhill section. I wanted to include this extra downhill section so you can see the speed that you can achieve. On my GPS unit you can see that I'm trying to hold that speed roughly around that 30 miles or 50 kilometers per hour level, and on this slight downhill section that's easily achievable. Alright, so here behind me I've got a nice steep hill here in the park, and we're going to test the grippiness of the tires right now. I'm going to zoom into the terrain and you'll see that this is quite a rocky, loose gravel, and this incline up here reaches about a 15% or so on this gravel climb. So good chance to test out the ability of these tires to handle this fire road, and to see if we really put down the pressure, what that traction looks like on this hill climb. Let's check it out. One more view from the back here so you can see how that tire actually grips up this hill climb. Does a fantastic job. Alright, so one of the primary reasons why I wanted to swap out the tires from the Riddlers to the Nanos was just to gain that extra little bit of traction. And it was on a hill like this one that I really felt a lot of tire slip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down this one. The surface for this is crushed limestone, so it's a very loose gravel section, but I'm going to show you that it's still possible to spin out. You still need to be aware of your pedaling style. The way you transfer your power through each pedal stroke is still important. If I were to just stomp straight down on the pedals, I'm still going to spin out. So proper technique always works, no matter what type of tire you have on your wheel. And I'm going to illustrate it on this hill, so there's definitely some tire slip that I'll experience, but I can moderate that a lot more by either sitting down in the saddle, or just, you know, being a little bit more efficient in my pedaling stroke. So let's check it out on this hill. On this first run, the tires held up great and I really couldn't get it to slip. I tried a second time, still couldn't get it to slip. Ah, what the heck. So here's another good example of where we can really test these wheels. See if these tires have some good grip on loose gravel into a sharp corner. So you can see down there on the trail comes down pretty quickly, and then right here in the bend, as the trail then turns into that corner, we find quite a bit of very loose gravel, right? So this obviously quite a hazardous area to come in with speed, and then at the same time to make your turn around this corner. So let's see how these Nanos perform. So we zip down here, try and see what kind of speed we can carry into this corner. So here we've got another good climb that will really illustrate the versatility of these WTB Nano tires. This climb here gets a little rocky, and it extends down that way as well. It's got a bit of a leaf cover to it, and especially so in the fall time. This climb here was really one of the major reasons why I felt like I needed an extra little bit of traction on the climbs as I come through this park on my regular rides. I'll have loose gravel, I'll have a few leafy sections, and then along the way there will obviously be a nice little gradient up here as well that will require a consistent effort and consistent power on the wheel. So let's see how that goes and see if these tires can hold up. Right, we've arrived at the next testing spot for these WTB Nano tires. We're now in a spot where there's quite a bit of a twisty downhill section on this gravel trail. So it comes down here, it heads down over there, and then it sort of hairpins all the way, and you can see it kind of stretching down there and then flowing out on that side over there. So a nice long downhill stretch section that we're going to test the grip on, especially around these hairpin corners. It kind of snakes down here. We're going to get it with a bit of speed and then see what kind of confidence we have leaning into the corners, and then seeing what we can do on this descent. Let's go for it. Right, so for the last little bit of a spin through the park, we are now going to head down trails that look a little bit more like mountain biking terrain. Not quite gravel biking terrain. You'll see a few loose roots along the way, a couple of barriers that I have to navigate over where they kind of block the water flow as those streams run over the trails. So a little bit more of an obstacle laden course that I have to go through on this next section. Just to demonstrate that these tires can obviously handle that, I'm running them, as I stated earlier, at 35 psi, so that allows me to have a little bit more of a shock absorption in my pedaling, but it's not entirely comfortable going, but it's manageable, and I think that's the point of it. This obviously not entirely designed for this type of terrain, but it's good to know that you can still get away with this type of riding if the race or the course that you want to follow includes small sections of fairly technical terrain. So let's head down this trail, see how it goes. Woo! Alright, so there you have it, a bit of a spin through the park, and you've seen the application of these wheels in all the various surfaces that I encounter throughout my ride. On the regular roads, they are really good. Obviously they won't be as good as a regular road wheel, but they sure do hold up very well on the paved surfaces. And then it is on the gravel where they've been designed to be used that they absolutely shine. The hard pack dry surfaces, those are obviously the areas where they excel the most. But as you've seen throughout this review in this video today, they are equally as good on the more technical stuff, some of the steeper descents and just sharp turns, along with some technical trails. So absolutely highly recommend these tires. Great job, WTB. The WTB Nano 40mm tires, great addition to your gravel collection for tires. Alright, that's it from me, Vian from Mountain Road Ride. Until next time, see you then.